Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the TriStar Sports Show for episode 26. Jamie and I are here back once again. We just watched the remainder of the Tennessee versus Georgia basketball game in Knoxville. Great win. Started out a little shaky in the first half. I believe we were down one going into half, 26-25. Offense couldn't get it going, but we finished with 70. How many points did we get?
74.
74 points. So, elite second half. We put up 49 in the second half. We outscored them 49-30. Jordan Gainey was the leading scorer off the bench with 19. Next would be Zakai with 16, Meshack with 11, Igor with 9, Chaz with 5, and Akbar with 4. And then Phillips also had 10 off the bench, which is good. So good overall minutes. Jamie, what's your thoughts on the game?
Slow start. Chaz still in his little shooting slump like he's been in the past 3 games. But luckily tonight the other guys stepped it up. And, Gainey had a great game coming off the bench. I'm a pretty firm believer that he could start just about anywhere else in the country. Zakai had a good game. He got hot there in the second half. And if they can keep playing like to this level and we can keep getting more and more production out of our bench guys, I have no fear that I think Lanier will be able to turn it back on once he gets his confidence back and just has a couple of good games, start seeing the ball go through the net. So, I don't know. I kind of like where the team's at right now, to be honest. We're proving we can do it without our best player.
Just shy of winning by 20 points tonight. Just looking at Lanier's game log, there's only one other game other than the last 3 stretch, or the first 14 and 15 games of this season. I think there was only 1 or 2 games where he was even under 15 points. So he was consistent for the longest time, and then he scored 29 against Arkansas to start out SEC play. And then since then, it's been 10 points, 10 points, 5 points. Tonight, he was 2 for 16 from the field, 3 for 16 against Florida, 3 for 11 against Texas. He's shooting it at the same quantity that he normally does. So he's not overshooting the ball to the extent where it's hurting the team.
Right.
We're just still running our normal plays for him, and he's just not hitting it, which hopefully will eventually turn back around.
And I think it will. Excuse me. I'd rather see him go through this slump now than in March. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And luckily for him, there's a lot of very important games coming up. So he has to turn around now.
Right. We
play Vanderbilt on Saturday. And then after that, we play 4 top 15 teams. And then we play Missouri after that, which they obviously just beat Florida last night. So we got moved to number 6 going into this week, and then number 4 and number 5 both lost on Tuesday night, and then we took care of business tonight. So I think we probably moved back up a little bit. I just know it's kind of a challenge with Florida beating us as bad as they did.
Right. But I don't know what you do in that situation. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we mop the floor with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's a road game, and we know how those go this year. Can't guarantee to win. They're 14-3, so they're not a joke, that's for sure.
No, I don't think they are either.
I don't think they've they're 2-2 in conference play, so let me take a look. They lost to Missouri, who we know is underrated. They beat South Carolina tonight. They lost to Mississippi State, and they beat LSU. So overall, pretty solid team. Good win for us tonight. Rest of the college basketball world in the last 2 days, like I said, number 4, number 5 went down. Auburn still won pretty convincingly without their best player, which is kind of scary. It's kind of, I mean, you could argue that Tennessee won pretty convincingly without their best player. I mean, theirs quite literally didn't play, but ours was ineffective,
Non-existent, yeah.
So both quality wins. Iowa State had a good win at number 3 against number 9 Kansas. Let's see, who's ranked number 2?
Is it Duke?
Yeah, they're 4.
I thought 4 was Alabama. Yeah, Iowa State and then Duke.
So, yeah, okay, because, yes, Auburn, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, number 1, 1, number 2, 1, number 3, 1, 4 loss, 5 loss, 6, 1. I know Marquette, number 7, they played into overtime with, I think it was DePaul on the road. Number 8, Kentucky, they won a big one against A&M at home. Number 9, Kansas lost, obviously, to Iowa State. So there's always – I mean, we kind of said the other day, there's going to be moving around all year long in that top 10 just because there's so many top 10 matchups that something has to give.
Right.
I mean, then you have teams like 21 Ole Miss who beat Bama, so they're going to jump up. And then, Missouri's going to find their way in the rankings after their impressive win. I mean, they already were receiving votes going into this week, so they're definitely going to be in there. But definitely something to keep an eye on. Let's see the Saturday slate of games. Bama plays Kentucky. That's at Lexington, so that'll be fun. Auburn and Georgia play in Georgia, so Georgia has an opportunity to bounce back there. I wouldn't be actually shocked if Georgia bounced back and beat Auburn. I just feel like at some point they can't just keep playing the way that they have without Broom, but tough to say.
We'll have to see. I mean, Pearl's a good coach, so I don't think they'll ever be bad with him up there.
Iowa State travels to West Virginia. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, that's a ranked matchup, play each other.
That'll be a good game. Ole Miss coming off a really big win. Mississippi State, I mean, it's the Egg Bowl of basketball.
Right. Santa Clara, Gonzaga. I mean, no one really cares about that. Shocker, Gonzaga's not playing anyone good. But yeah, so that's this week's college basketball. As far as college football still goes, we have the national championship next week, but then there was news from Tennessee today. There's actually a few different stories. One being we're going to extend Tim Banks, which I think is good news. I know there is people out there that still don't think he's good, but I think that's kind of ignorant when we literally had one of our best defensive performances in years. So I don't know why you wouldn't want that. I think we held 11 of our 13 opponents to under 20. So
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd complain about that. Obviously, you are losing a big piece. We found out today, just recently, that Pierce has officially declared for the draft. So, which was expected. I mean, it was going to be more of a shock if he returned. And then, what else? Oh, Jamal McCoy tore his ACL today, training in Texas.
Yeah, that sucks, but I mean, with modern medicine now, he should be more than fine.
We'd hope so. I mean, the biggest concern is, will he be back for the season opener? It's going to be close. And on top of that, will he be as good as he was? Because people react to it differently. I would hope. We honestly probably get some corner in the transfer portal just for depth reasons in case he's not good to go. Which I imagine that's probably what they're going to do in the spring. Nothing really else. Oh, I guess Quinn Ewers he
Declared.
for the draft today.
Yeah.
We didn't really touch about it the other day, but the Carson Beck entering the transfer portal after declaring for the draft.
Going to be with his girlfriend.
Yeah. $4 million later, so
Yeah.
good for him, I guess. And sure, Miami will be decent and fall flat on their face before the ACC championship next year once again. I don't think there's really been anyone leaving other than that. I am interested to see what Arch will do next year with Texas. I think in theory they should be better. From the minutes that we did see him come in, I mean, he looks the part, that's for sure.
He's athletic. He's an athletic Manning, which is a scary combination.
So, I mean, yeah, they made the Final Four basically of football the last 2 years. And came up short both times, but if you have that level of roster and you put a better quarterback in there, I'm not saying Quinn Ewers is bad, just I think that they hit their ceiling with them, and it was time to move on for both parties. So excited to see that. I mean, I don't think we won't get to see Tennessee play them unless it's in the SEC championship or playoffs, which I really wanted to see Nico and Arch since
that'd be sick.
They were in the same class to figure out who really was the best one in that class.
Whatever happened to the other? Is he still at USC? Malachi.
Was it Malachi Nelson? Is that his name?
Didn't he transfer though?
You'd have to look that up. I'm assuming so because you would have thought he would have played by now, right? I don't know where he went, but that sounds like I feel like I do remember him leaving.
Oh, Boise's back up now.
Is there a quarterback gone? Gadsden or whatever his name is? Or Madston?
No.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why he went there.
I wonder if he's entered the portal again or not. It is well, he might have just been the
10 days ago, QB Nelson joins UTEP. So there you go.
He's on the minors.
He'll be a minor.
Oh, boy. Well, we don't play him. We played him this past year. We're not going to play him again for forever.
Yeah.
But that would have been cool, too. I kind of forgot about him. And I think Arnold, was he in that class as well?
Jackson Arnold?
Yeah. I can't remember if he was in that group.
I don't remember.
But, yeah, I think that's majority of college football. We still have a little while before the national championship. So, well, I guess I don't know if we'll have a video out before the national championship. But
it'll be on 90.
I think we're probably both going to pick Ohio State.
Yeah.
Until they haven't really shown us anything in this playoff run and not believe in them. I mean, the way they took care of us, I don't really know how you could pick against them.
Right. I mean, they don't overthink it. They've been on a roll until they show that they're not, then I'm going to keep picking them.
I mean, Notre Dame is definitely better than they have been in years past.
Yeah.
I like Riley Leonard a lot, and then Jeremiah Love, their running back.
I thought he got hurt.
He's been playing through it. Yeah.
Okay.
He had a brace on his knee the other night, and he was hurtling people, so he must be decently okay.
Right.
I think he's definitely going to be a good NFL back whenever that time comes. But I think that's all college football. I know NFL, we got
divisional round.
Yeah, no, we're past the wild card round, which we talked about on Monday night, which we were filming during it. The Rams destroyed the Vikings, and that was never a game. And I guess Sam Darnold
looked like Sam Darnold. He remembered he was Sam Darnold.
I don't want to hate on him too bad because he might be playing for the Titans next year.
I don't think they're trading JJ anymore.
No, they're not.
Texans Chiefs, be a good game. Probably have Chiefs in that one. Commanders Lions. That one's interesting. All the games are interesting at this point. I love playoff NFL football. Eagles, Rams in Philadelphia, and then Bills, Ravens. I mean, Bills, Ravens is going to be a really good game.
That's what everyone's saying. I feel like it's going to end up being not the best game of the
Like
weekend.
7-14 or something.
Or one team blows the other one out.
Right.
I think.
Did they play this year?
I don't believe so. Because I'm sure we would have seen videos on that. It's basically deciding who wins MVP.
Yeah, even though it's supposed to be a regular season award.
Right. If
Yeah, they played this year.
they did?
Ravens blew them out. Hinder ran for 200.
What week was that?
Week 5.
Okay, so early on.
Yes.
I mean, I think the Bills got better after that. So they got Amari Cooper and so on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Rams are. If I was going to pick an upset, I think Rams could beat the Eagles. I think Commanders might make it spicy with the Lions, but I don't know if they're going to be good enough to actually hold them or win on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, Chiefs, I guess, could get upset. I mean, I was kind of thinking the way that game's going to play out is either the Chiefs probably blow out the Texans or the Texans win. I don't see the Chiefs playing close and winning because if they play close, they're probably struggling, and then they're just going to – out of all the games of their playoff runs of the last 3 years, for them to end the, like, screw up the dynasty would be like a random game to a Texans team that underperformed the whole year.
But I think the Chiefs win.
I mean, everything you would tell you that they should.
Right.
But I don't know. They haven't played in 3 weeks, and it's happened to teams before.
It absolutely has.
I mean, the biggest question is, I don't know if – I mean, Mahomes has had a little bit of a turnover issue this year. As long as he continues to do his playoff Mahomes and not turn the ball over, they're going to be fine.
Right.
But the Texans' defense is actually pretty solid. And if they force a couple, I think C.J. Stroud and their offense is good enough to score a couple off of turnovers. I just don't – it's in Arrowhead. I just don't know how they would screw that up, but I guess it's always possible.
Mahomes actually had more picks. This is actually the least amount of interceptions he's thrown in the last 4 years, which is surprising because I also thought that he was having a down year. But from 2021 through 2024, he had 13, 12, 14, and then this year he had 11. So, I mean, statistically, he's having the safest year he's ever had.
I wonder if he hasn't thrown the ball as much.
He definitely had a drop-off in yards. I mean, this is his first year since he's been a starter where he's thrown for under 4,000 yards.
I mean, as far as attempts go, I'm looking at it. In 21 and 22, he threw for like 650 attempts. Last year, slightly under 600, and then this one was down another like 15 attempts. So, yeah. I mean, it kind of checks out. He threw 2 or 3 more interceptions a couple years ago when he threw the ball 100 more times. I mean, that's probably statistically like on pace.
I'm just a firm believer that the Chiefs are in the spot now where they're going to start doing what the Patriots did and kind of sandbag during the regular season. He might not. I mean, his MVP might not be there like it used to be, but I mean, remember whenever Brady and the Patriots, they do just enough to make it into the playoffs, and then the playoffs come on, and boom, there goes Brady and the Patriots win the Super Bowl again.
I mean, are they still – I was going to look and see. Okay. He's gotten sacked significantly more this year.
He has.
By like 10.
Yeah.
Which is – doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, and – which is surprising because their offensive line is pretty solid. I just wonder.
They have a great offensive line.
I mean, when you really sit down and think about it, like who's he throwing it to?
Xavier Worthy.
I mean, who hasn't done a ton?
DeAndre Hopkins, who hasn't done anything.
I mean, Hopkins has played decent since he's gotten there, but
yeah,
I mean he's old.
But also, they kind of did the same thing they did last year, where they didn't really use Kelsey that much this year. Used him when they needed him, and now once the playoffs get here, I think they're going to start force feeding him the ball again.
I feel like they're going to lose, and they're going to bring in Tyreek Hill next year and do it all again.
Oh, boy.
Because he's once out of Miami.
They can have – no, actually, they cannot have Ayuk.
So that's that game. Is that the first one of the weekend?
Yes.
It should be, yeah. Lions, Commanders. Like I said, I think the Commanders might put up a fight for a while, but eventually that Lions offense is probably just going to be too much. I mean, the Lions defense is so banged up that the Commanders might be able to kind of play in a little bit of a shootout. But
Montgomery's back.
Is he back for this game?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, maybe they'll play close in the half. I don't know. Jaden Daniels is also playing a lot better than anyone could have ever thought he was going to play in this rookie year. So, tough to say there. I mean, it's on the road as well, which is going to be tough. But I didn't think the Commanders were going to go into Tampa and go beat the Bucs, and they did. And so it's possible. It's playoff football.
Hopefully they didn't use all their luck on the joint field goal.
Yeah, that was nuts. So in the next game, Rams-Eagles. I really think that the Rams somehow win this game. They have been sometimes it's better to be just the hottest team going to the playoffs, and they are definitely that. I don't know how many games in a row they've won, but so they lost in week 18 because I don't think it mattered. But before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So their most recent relevant loss was to the Eagles earlier this year, which I know people were talking about because the Eagles ran for like 300 yards against the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, why are they not going to just do that again? Yeah, Saquon Barkley had 255 himself. So they're definitely going to have to try to prevent that from happening again in order to compete in this game. I mean, the line is at Philly minus 6.5.
Yeah.
Might just take the Rams to cover in that. That might be a safe bet.
I don't hate it. And, I mean, yeah, they are hot. Eagles, I don't know.
I know A.J. Brown is listed as questionable, but, I mean, when is he not? I feel like. I know Nakobe Dean got hurt in their last game, and he's out for the rest of the playoffs.
That's a big loss.
Yeah, he was a good part of that defense. So, I don't know. I mean, Eagles very well could just go in there and whoop their butt, but I'm kind of rooting for the Rams for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And then last game of the weekend, like we said, Ravens-Bills. I mean, I really hope you can turn this game on and the final score is 45-42.
That'd be sick.
I just want to see highlight after highlight. It's very possible, but both defenses are like decent from time to time, so it's kind of hard to say it'll be like that. I mean, out of the last 5 games, the Ravens have won the last 5. The Bills are 4-1 in the last 5. I don't know. And this is in Buffalo, though. Keep that in mind. I don't know what it's supposed to be 16 degrees game time. So, and at night, roughly. Bills Mafia will definitely be going crazy.
Gonna be cold. Probably gonna see a healthy helping of Derrick Henry from the Ravens.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Especially last time he played good against them.
Yeah.
I know Baltimore's favored by 1, but it seems like the money line is kind of like a pick 'em right now.
It is, yeah.
And let's see, other NFL news. Titans are still working on their GM position. I don't think anyone's been hired yet, at least throughout the NFL. I know the people the Cowboys have talked to is rumored to be Dion.
No, they've talked to Dion.
I don't think they have had him in a true interview. It's just Jerry Jones has spoken to him, which they have each other's personal phone numbers, so that could mean anything.
Right. They scheduled an interview with Saleh.
Which I think that'd be a bad hire.
Yeah. Saleh's a DC.
Yeah, he kind of just showed you he's not meant to be a head coach. Because they kind of gave him everything they needed in New York. Going into this year, at least.
Aaron Rodgers. And
everything they asked for, they got.
The Jets
Devontae had
heavily underperformed. I think he was gone before Devontae got there, but the Jets heavily underperformed this year. Between Breece Hall, I don't even think their offensive line was that bad, but you had a stud running back, a stud receiver in Garrett Wilson, or what was supposed to be a stud running back and a stud receiver, and then you bring in one of the best quarterbacks ever. I don't know. I just think and you have a good defense. The Jets calling card for the longest time had been their defense with Sauce and Quinn Williams.
True.
So, yeah, I don't know. I thought they were supposed to be more competitive, and they underperformed.
I just think there's no way he doesn't have to go be a coordinator somewhere before he gets another head coaching opportunity.
Right.
But
I remember the year before Aaron Rodgers went there, they were like 2 games behind winning the division. Like, they had a really good year. Sauce's breakout year, and Garrett Wilson had a good year. They were 2 games behind either the Bills or the Dolphins, whoever won the division that year. So the question was surely Aaron Rodgers can come in and be a net positive 2 wins on the team.
Be better than Zach Wilson.
Right, yeah. Get 2 more wins than Zach Wilson did. And then obviously the first year he blew up his foot. That was kind of shot. I don't know. Disappointing year this year. I don't know who are they rolling with their interim guy or
who?
Who did the Jets end up hiring?
Oh, they haven't hired anyone yet, but
okay.
Their interim guy was Jeff Ulbrich.
Are they rolling with him?
I don't think so. They'd be I don't think they should.
Right.
They didn't show any improvement when he was there.
I saw that y'all had y'all are doing an interview with the assistant GM from the Bears.
The Chiefs has been the big one. That's the one everyone wants to, or I personally want to go get. I mean, anyone that's attached to, I don't know how long he's been there, but multiple Super Bowls more than likely.
I know their DC is getting head coaching interviews. I think he got a head coaching interview with the Jaguars. Spagnuolo.
Yes.
He's really good. He's a good DC at least. I don't know.
Right.
You're going to have to see how he does as a head coach. But like you said, people are chomping at the bit to get a piece of that Chiefs organization right now. It's whenever the Niners seemed like they were having coordinators come in and leave every other year with McDaniels and DeMeco Ryans and all them, and Saleh before that. Love to see. I think the Niners are in a tough waiting spot right now where they're waiting to see if Saleh – I think Saleh is their obvious first choice for DC, but he's waiting to see if he gets a head coaching opportunity first, and it's kind of a dangerous game because if you wait on him and then he gets a head coaching opportunity and takes it, then you're going to be stuck with the DCs that you didn't interview because you thought he was the guy. So I don't know. We're going to have to see about that. I saw one thing about the Niners where we have 12 picks in this draft with compensatory picks for apparently whenever you have a coordinator come in and leave and go be a head coach and they do well, I think we got some for the Texans making the playoffs or something like that. So I don't know. We'll have to see what we end up doing with those picks. I haven't been the biggest fan of at least our early drafts strategy in recent years. It seems like we always brick the early picks and nail home the late round picks. I don't know what to say about that, to be honest.
You would think out of 12 picks in 7 rounds, you'd think something's got to work out. But
right. It's just probably going to be our 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks that work out if history repeats itself.
Don't draft a kicker. That's for sure.
Don't draft a kicker in the 3rd round. Speaking of which, that kicker needs to be off the roster. Brock Purdy is rumored to become the second highest paid quarterback in the league last time I saw, which kind of, in my opinion, ruins the whole thing about Brock Purdy. Like, his whole thing was, like, yeah, he's really good, but what made him a lot more, like, what made it better was the value you were getting him at. And once you lose that value, then once you make him a $60 million a year quarterback, his mistakes and his
performance is not worth $60 million.
His shortcomings become a lot more evident whenever you're making $60 million a year.
That's saying he's a top 5 quarterback in this league, and he is just not right now.
He wasn't this year, no, not at all.
There's just too much talent for him to be getting paid that much.
Right.
I really hope, for y'all's sake, you don't do that, but I don't know if you have much of a choice.
He's smart enough to recognize that, like,
they're going to have to lose the team around him.
Yeah,
if he gets paid.
The team around him definitely helps. So we'll have to see. Time will tell. I hope he's not a holdout guy. That would also kind of ruin my perception of Brock Purdy.
I don't think he will be. But I don't know. There's always shocking stuff.
Right.
I think that's all for NFL. Only other stuff going on this weekend is there's a UFC card. I don't think we've really ever talked about that on this show, but
yeah. Islam fights, Marab fights.
There's some decent names in there.
Yeah. Yuri fights as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough to really give that much opinion on it, but I'll definitely be watching. Any other sports going on this weekend? I don't think there really is.
I don't think so.
College baseball for us Tennessee fans starts in a month.
Yeah.
We're ranked 4 going into the season, so that should be fun.
Disrespectful.
Most teams in the last 5 out of the last 5 champions, the following year is normally pretty rough. However, that was before the transfer portal was like what it is now, and we pretty much just picked whoever we wanted in the transfer portal. So
I'm interested to see if Jefferson plays.
Yeah, I think it's probably too short notice for that to realistically happen. Maybe the following season, right, if they really needed him. He said he was open to doing it in an interview, but I wouldn't expect it. I mean,
maybe he's on the team and gets more playing time as the season goes on. I don't know. We got to see.
I mean, I doubt it. I mean, we offered him a few years ago. Time has moved on. We're now national champs, and
right,
you have your pickings of the best players in the country. So it's kind of I don't know if you'd really go back on that,
Right.
But I think that might be it for today's episode.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias. We may be moving to a new platform if TikTok truly does go down. I think Red Note is a company that apparently is picking up.
Mandarin one?
Yeah, so if that happens, y'all will be the first people to know. Other than that, we probably won't post again until next week due to travel. But we should be able to recap Tennessee Vandy and another good weekend of college basketball and another good weekend of NFL playoffs, and should have plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you on the next episode.
Have a good one, y'all.